Welcome, people. It's Mr. back again with a preview show. As you know, it's Nottingham Forest v Reading tomorrow. Massive game for both clubs as well. Forest trying to get into the playoffs. Reading are trying to get out the bottom three. If you are new to our channel, please do hit the like button, subscribe if you know. Comment below, people. What is your score prediction for tomorrow's game? Before we do start again, I'm talking about we've got the Campbell event on a Thursday of the 20th of April. If you want tickets, please message me on Twitter, Instagram, anything, or email me. The tickets are running out, so please message me soon as because it's going to be a fantastic event. But like I said before, like I said, ask questions as well. If you want to be a member as well, it only costs $2.99 to be a member as well. And if you want to do any super chats, ask me and our new guest Jacob as well. Please ask about Reading season so far. Right. Before I do, let's get a guest on. And his name is Jacob. How you doing, Jacob?
Hello, Ben. Thank you for having me on. Always a pleasure to spread the word about how much of a mental season it's been for us. It's just been a total soap opera. So,
before we start, Jacob, I know you've got is it a YouTube channel or podcast that you want?
So I've just started. I've taken over the preview podcast, the midweek game previewing podcast. For the good people over at Elm Park Royals, there's a few Reading fan sites, but we're the only one that sticks up like unedited, unfiltered opinions from the fans midweek and at the weekend. So you can follow us over on Twitter there. That's at Elm Park Royals, and we'd love to have you come and listen in.
Yeah. What I'll do, like I said, people, I thought I wasn't doing a show, but because Jacob messaged me so late, I am doing the show. So people, I put it on my social media. I said I wasn't doing the show, but I am now. So I do apologize for people that if people watch this back, I do apologize. Right, let's get back. And Jacob, we're going to talk about the game 1-1, and it was a funny game because we've not got a good record at your ground, but
yeah,
you wasn't doing that at that time. You wasn't doing that bad, was you? So let's talk about that game, and afterwards, just talk about what has been happening with your club.
Honestly, mate, that 1-1 back in November feels like a lifetime ago. Because, like you say, back then, I mean, don't get me wrong, we hadn't set the world alight. We were in pretty ropey form, but not quite as bad as our form this January when we went 12 games without a win. And then, like in November, the form was still wobbly, but there was a bit of a feel-good factor because we just had Andy Carroll sign as a free agent, who gave us a bit of a lift. His first game was against you guys at the Medeski in that 1-1.
Yes, it was. Yes, it was.
Yeah, and that was great. I mean, it's probably the best reception a new signing has had in a few years at the Medeski, and we were really excited to see what he could do. Fast forward to the present day, he's now gone because he was only on a 3-month contract, one of the shortest professional footballing contracts I've ever heard of or seen. He's now gone to West Brom, where they're doing just as badly as us at the moment in terms of form. But yeah, honestly, I was quite pleased to get a point from you guys because obviously your resurgence had just started. Because you made the very wily and wise decision to bring in Steve Cooper quite early in the season, right? We didn't have the same level of foresight in that we were stuck with Paunovic for so long, even when it was clear that things weren't working and he was out of his depth. And now all of a sudden, you know, we've got 11 games left to try and claw ourselves out of trouble with a man who doesn't seem qualified to do so. So. If I was a lot more confident coming into the game against you in November, and tomorrow, mate, Ben, I'm dreading it. I think you're going to hammer us.
Really?
Yeah, honestly, yesterday on the preview podcast, I said to my fellow guests, I said, you know what? We might scrape a point. It might be a repeat of the 1-1. Overnight, I went to bed. I had nightmares. I can see it going horribly wrong.
Wow. So people in the comments, Jacob is not feeling confident at all. I can't believe that because I'm looking back on it because you've not I'm talking about form like Reading. They haven't got a bad record at the City Ground. So you feeling like that? If you're feeling like that, I'm surprised. I know you're not playing well, and we talk about we'll talk about the manager change in a minute. But you can't be that bad, are you? Really?
Well, I'll tell you why I'm feeling particularly pessimistic. It's for a few reasons. Some of them are like logical reasons, and other are superstitious reasons. All right, so let's get the logical ones out of the way first. So Lucas João, who's our star striker, he's been injured for much of the season. As soon as he was back, he went on this fantastic run where he scored 5 goals in 5 games. Had he been fit for tomorrow, I would have thought, okay, here we go. He can create something out of nothing. He's capable of a bit of magic. Apparently, Paul Ince says he's ill. So if he's out, if he's out, then that's like about half of our goal threat just straight away gone, really. And another more superstitious reason I have for thinking, oh, this isn't going to go well, is that for the first time in months, if not years, a Reading player has won Championship Player of the Month, and that was Lucas João. So, like the minute that a manager or a player of ours wins any sort of awards, like it just all goes to the wall, mate. And I don't know, I have this real funny feeling, like you're playing lovely football. Who's your defensive mid that's just decided to become a goal scoring sensation?
Ryan Yates, the legend himself. The legend himself.
Right. So Ryan Yates has just decided to become prime Maradona, right? And it's so. And also, you guys are feeling good, right? You've got through in the cup. You're into the quarterfinals against Liverpool. You know, there's a bit of a feel good factor underway, and we just don't have that. Our new manager bounce is gone. Like the new manager bounce at Reading lasted 2 games, and now all of a sudden it's just business as usual. So for all those reasons, Ben, and more, I can't see anything more than a Reading L tomorrow.
Bloody hell, Jacob, you remind me of a Derby fan, because there is a Derby fan on here watching it, and she's not. Basically, she's saying, "Do you want Callum?" That's a Derby fan. Shout out to Lisa. Lisa's a lovely woman. She's a lovely woman, Lisa.
Hello, Lisa.
Right. So next up, we're talking about your manager. You have Stakovic, and then you got Paul Ince. From outside looking in, I was surprised you got Paul Ince. I couldn't believe it. So as a fan, what? Tell me, because it was a weird one. I know, like I said, with the embargo and everything, and you got Paul Ince. Talk to you, man. Like, what is? That was a weird one, wasn't it, Jacob?
Mate, it's shocking. It's the one thing you can come to expect as a Reading fan is just this weird decision making at the top, right? Because we've got these owners. We've had owners for the last 5 years who are from China. They've got a lot of money, but they have spent it really, really poorly. Like either on the wrong players or through bringing in the wrong people. And in particular, there's one man who's in this advisory role and in the owner's ear, Kia Jarabchian, who is causing carnage at Everton at the moment. He's advising Everton's owners. He's the one that back in time brokered the deal before Carlos Tevez and Javier Mascherano at West Ham. He's trouble. His name is Trouble. He's had a say over our transfer policy for a little while, and he's also had a say over who we bring in as manager. So Paunovic was one of his contacts. There's been suggestions that Paul Ince is another one of his so-called contacts. But then what's even weirder about it is that we thought we'd done some decent business on deadline day by shipping out our captain, Liam Moore, to Stoke on loan, because he weirdly fell out with the owner, but he was on big money. And in return from Stoke, we brought in Tom Ince, and we thought, okay, he's like not really maybe done it consistently for a while now, but he's capable of something. You know, he's got talent. If we can tap that, then great. 2 weeks later, less than 2 weeks later, his dad's appointed as manager. And to me, that is, I don't know about you, Ben, that's dodge. That's well dodged. Something's not right.
It's a weird one, because like I said, when Paul Ince was appointed, I thought to myself, Reading can do better than that. Surely, I know they're in a massive mess, but Paul Ince, I know, like, his record, like, I couldn't believe it. But the way you're talking,
I think
it's mad, isn't it? It's mad.
Yeah. Mate, it's the thing that I can't understand, and a lot of Reading fans can't understand, is that, I mean, we were crying out for a change for so long. It was clear that Paunovic wasn't working. He obviously had that brilliant start at the beginning of last season when we won 7 on the trot and in Dreamland. This season, we lost 6 of our first 7, so almost a total opposite. He was tactically naive. His substitutions were weird. He'd play players out of position, albeit our hands have been tied by injuries for the whole season. We've not been able to field a full bench most weeks. But even so, at the end, most fans agreed that Paunovic was playing his cards wrong. But we thought, if we get in a manager now who can organise the defence, because we've conceded the most goals in the league this year, if we can get in a manager who can sort out the defence and that the players can play for and just get us over the line, then great. We weren't expecting to bring in someone of the calibre of, like, I don't know, Neil Warnock. Yeah, we just kind of thought maybe, okay, that's outside the realms of possibility, because he's honestly, for me, little too good for us. Probably would have cost us money, and we're operating under financial constraints. We've already had a points deduction. But like you say, surely you can do better than Paul Ince, who's not managed for 8 years. Yeah. You know, he's been out of management since 2014. And he's also said a couple of his honesty in interviews is refreshing. He's a good talker. Whereas Paunovic was quite cryptic and we're talking riddles. But he's also capable of saying some really weird stuff. He says he doesn't believe in physios. He says that if a physio,
really?
Get this, you're going to love this. He says that if a physio tells him that a player's not fit enough, he will ask the player and say, "Do you feel like you're up for it?" And he says that's what it was like back in my day. That's what it is. So he's like proper old school to the point of being a bit delusional. So I don't. The defense is better, but he's still, for me, just not got the tools to get us there. And we've got Derby breathing down our necks. We've got Barnsley who have started playing all right again. So it's going to be tough, man. There's a 5-point gap at the moment, but I can only see that shrinking.
Wow, I can't believe what you're saying, Jacob. There's a question for you as well from Chu Rand. Wow, this is mad. Jacob, did you expect Reading to have a season like this after the previous season, being top of the league, promoted off it, and just now miss the playoffs?
Yeah, it's a good question, because last season was the classic season of two halves, because first half of the season, you know, we were thinking for a while, Ben, we were thinking, crikey, our automatics out the question. We thought playoffs bare minimum. And then second part of the season, we barely won a game. The drop after Christmas was insane. And also, form aside, we were worried because there have been whisperings of a points deduction for a little while now, because we've broken the rules. It's as simple as that. Our owners thought they could get away with it, and they haven't. So there was that lurking in the background. And also, we lost key players. We lost Michael Elise to Palace for nothing. Like, for him to go for 8 million was an absolute steal. He should have been worth double that. And almost the bigger financial crime is the fact that Omar Richards, who was our star left back last season, went to Bayern Munich for nothing on free transfer.
Wow.
So we'd lost. Yeah, it's shocking. So, like, we just mismanagement off the pitch too, with not offering players deals to tie him down, because Richards should have got a massive fee to go to a club like Bayern, and for to lose him for nothing. A lot of Reading fans were thinking, okay, there's trouble brewing here. But I don't think anyone really expected it to be this bad. We were expecting it to maybe... The owners and the manager were saying we need to be fighting for the playoffs again. And that has not happened. Like, even without the points deduction, we would be nowhere near that. So really disappointing the season, but the signs have been there for a little while.
Wow. I can't believe what you say. You just made me laugh. I can't believe it, Jacob. Wow.
It's all true. It's all true, man. It's stranger than fiction.
It is as well. Like I said, as a Forest fan, it's a weird situation. Like what True Red mentioned, he was fantastic last season, and now with all this happening, it's It's mind-boggling. Right, people, if anyone's got any questions for Jacob, put in the comment below. People, like I said, if any super chats as well, support the channel you can. Hit the like button as well. Subscribe if you're new. Well, Jacob, I always ask the rival fans about Forest, and as a Reading fan, we know so much Steve Cooper. He's done fantastic for us. So, what, as like I said, are you worried about tomorrow's game? Because it's like it happens all the time. Like you're not playing great, but aren't you not slightly confident that you could do something about Forest, even if they are been playing fantastic?
Yeah, it's funny. I was saying this on the preview podcast yesterday, how the one thing you can expect with the Championship, with it being such a mad league, is that there's a surprise result every week. And I mean, with as bad as we've been, we still managed to beat Fulham earlier in the season, and Fulham are running away with the league. So it's on any given day, the Championship can throw up some weird results. For me, it's just I feel like you're going to outdo us tactically because of the way that Cooper is just such. Cooper's footballing brain is, I think, man for man, managerially, I think he's one of the best managers in the league. Obviously, you've got Chris Wilder doing brilliant things at Middlesbrough as well at the moment, how he's improved them. But I think Cooper is probably like the envy of the league when it just comes to just working people out. One thing Forest do very well, which Reading don't, is you can see out games and hold on to a lead. Whereas like Reading just can't do that. Even when we beat Preston recently 3-2, we went 3-0 up, Lucas João and John Swift, and then we went and conceded 2, and it looked like we were going to draw. So I don't know, like you've got a couple of players I'm really jealous of. I think Max Lowe is amazing. He's so good. If we had a left back like Max Lowe, we'd be laughing because
if you remember, he got injured, didn't he? He got injured, didn't he? At your grind, didn't he? He got injured.
He did, yeah, you're right. Yeah, Max, that's right. I completely forgotten that he did himself at our place. Yeah, yikes, sorry about that. But he's so good. I mean, the left back position's been a real problem all season. We're currently playing a centre back at left back in Tom McIntyre. So I don't know. I just feel like you've maybe got a little too much of us, man. Especially when you're pushing for the playoffs, you need to be beating the likes of Reading.
Yeah, 100%. People like come up later. If you got any questions to ask Josh, please do. Like I said, he's really he's not a happy bunny, if you can tell. Right, Jacob, I asked this question to all rival fans, and like I said, we mentioned Reading. It was fantastic last season. I know they just missed the playoffs. So at the start of the season, what was your prediction? And right now, where do you think Reading will finish? So that's not where did you thought he was finished?
Yeah, beginning of the season, I rather pessimistically, shockingly enough for me, went for 14th. I thought we were going mid-table because, like I said to you, I thought we'd lost players. I thought that the form at the back end of last season was poor. So I was thinking, right, mid-table mediocrity. But I think now we will do very, very well to finish 21st, because if we can just stay above Derby, then I think we'll be all right. But it's so tough because I think if I read some statistic that if you were to take away the points deduction that Derby have had, they'd be 14th.
Yeah.
And that's the league table that Rooney's using to motivate the Derby players. If Derby pick up form again, I'm going to be really worried. I think Peterborough are down. But saying that, we played out a really poor 0-0 draw with Peterborough at their place. I went to that game, and let me tell you, Ben, it was depressing. It had shades of the 0-0 draw that relegated Reading and QPR in the Premier League most recently. It was that bad. Really windy, but it's no excuse. So I'm good. If I was being an optimist, I'd say that Reading will finish 21st, but it will be tight. And if I had my pessimist hat on, I would think, are we really going to have enough? So let's be optimistic, because I have to be, because they're my team, and I'm going to say we're going to finish 21st.
Bloody hell. I think, where is it? From Paul. I feel for you, Josh, mate. We are Forest known. We're all about mismanagement and the bad owners. Yeah, we've been there. We've been there, Jacob. We've been there. And we feel for you. And just hope. I don't want you to get relegated. I want, I know you're watching, Lisa. We want Derby. I want Derby down. And It is what it is. But people in the comments, what is your score prediction for tomorrow's game? I'll get Jacob's prediction before we do go. Jacob, like I said, Paul Ince, do you see him as a long term? I don't. So what do you see it as? It's like it's a weird one. I don't get it. I don't understand it.
No, I mean, I guess the thing is, he was, when we sacked Paunovic, or rather, the weird thing with Paunovic is that he'd offered his resignation, and then for weeks the owners wouldn't accept it, right? Which is completely bizarre, because like he was way gone at the point that he went. But when we brought in, so the club statement which said that Paunovic had gone, in the same statement it said that Ince was an interim, and it said that we were looking for another manager, right? But from what Ince himself has been saying, he expects to be here at the end of the season. So if we are stuck with him for the rest of the year, I guess if he takes us down, there's no way he's staying on for another year. Surely not. We've got to really get someone in who can. I mean, the lifespan of a Reading manager at the moment is like maximum year and a half, and we just need someone to come in and build something. And it's really tough at the moment because there's no money to spend because the EFL have punished us. Yeah. But we need someone who can just come in and do something on a budget and that everyone can get behind. And we thought, yeah, sorry, you go on.
No, I was just saying, like, because you mentioned, like, if Reading do get relegated, Paul Ince is there. I think he got promoted with. Who did he get promoted with? He got promoted with a League One. Was it League Two or League One side? No, it was now.
Oh, it was. Yeah, who was it?
Who was it?
It was
MK Dons.
MK Dons. Yeah, well done. Yeah.
I'm not saying, like, if Reading do get relegated, surely with his experience, like, he can get you back up, because he's been there, done that in League One. So before we get his competition, would you want him to stay there?
I don't know. I mean, he's got a point to prove. That's the one thing you can say about him, is that, like, if it doesn't work at Reading, I don't think he'll get another job, mate. Like, he's got to make it work for us. Otherwise, I think that's his career over. So if he's up for the fight in League One, and it's going to be tough because, like I said, we're going to have real problems paying wages. Our only real bright spark is our academy. Our academy keeps on churning out good players. You know, the likes of Richards, Michael Elise, who's tearing it up in the Prem at the moment. Tom McIntyre and Tom Holmes are starting centre-backs at the moment. So we're going to have to really heavily rely on the academy. And if Ince wants to stick around and play the youth. Here's another fun fact for you, Ben. Would you like to guess how many senior players are under contract for next year currently? At the whole club.
I know you got. Did Scott Dunn sign a new contract for you, lot?
Right, yeah. So he's just signed another one. So I'm going to add one to whatever. I
don't know. People in the comments. Do you know? Do you know? I'll write in the comments.
Yeah. It's honestly, mate, it's depressing.
Okay, I'll say it's 8.
Just, you know what? Fair play, spot on.
What's that?
Yeah. Well in.
Yeah,
I think we might have more now that Dan signed his contract, but we've got like 8 or 9 seniors next season, and we don't know if we're going to cash in on the likes of Zhao, Mate, whatever, but or whether Moore's going to be here. So it's going to be a tough season, whatever league we're in next year. If we're in the Championship, it's going to be tough again, and if we're in League One, I don't know if we're going to come straight back up again, mate. It's bleak.
Right before God's competition, I know if people follow Jacob on social media, he mentioned about ex Chelsea and Leicester player.
Yeah.
I do apologise, but we are going to mention him. Darren Drinkwater. You're not a happy guy. I thought when he signed for you lot, I thought it was a great signing because, like I said, I know we didn't do bits for Chelsea, blah blah blah, but I thought it was a positive signing. Like you brought him, you brought Carroll, you brought Stan as well. Yeah. But why not? Are you not happy with Drinkwater?
Yeah, I mean, at one point early in the season, it looked like we were trying to assemble Brexit FC because we signed like the most Brexity footballers in the world, like Andy Carroll, Scott Dan, Danny Drinkwater, you know, like English like stalwarts, right? And I don't know, like Carroll had a couple of really good games for us when he first signed, and looked like an experienced head, looked like he had something to prove. And then the minute things started getting tough, mate, he was gone. Like mentally, he's just not playing for us anymore. Like in his head, he doesn't want to be there. Like I've never seen a bigger hospital passer of the ball in my life.
Wow.
Like there will be like a man, there'll be a man adjacent to him on the pitch, and all he needs to do is simple ball. And he'll just like absolutely like whack it. It's shocking. Doesn't do a lot of running. Doesn't track back. Body language all wrong. Bit of a poser. Just he's honestly the biggest waste of a six-figure weekly wage that you've ever seen.
Wow.
Because Chelsea are still paying the majority of his weekly wage, but. Oh, honestly, like it, a couple of times I've been in the stands at an away game, and it's really got ugly with the way that Reading fans are talking about Drinkwater. It's bad. And honestly, I would like to put my neck on the line here. I think the majority of Reading fans would like to see him drop for the weekend, because he keeps on starting games that Ince must see something in him, but he's just not done it. He's not done it. I'd much rather, because Josh Laurent is back in training. The minute we can get a double midfield pivot of Laurent and Rinham Hotter back, sooner the better, mate, because Drinkwater is absolute dross. He's dog, absolute dog.
Wow. So this is what Jamie thinks about Danny Drinkwater. I thought he was all right, but wow. I can't. Well, it is what it is. But people in the comments, what is your score prediction for tomorrow? And get Jacob's score prediction as well. I'm just going through the comments as well. I've got a super chat from Lee Red. You 2-0, you Red. Lisa is a red under the Derby top. Shout out. Thank you for the £1.79, Lee. Appreciate for that. People comment, what is your score prediction? Last but not least, Jacob, what is your score prediction for tomorrow?
I mean, I said to you earlier,
I'm not looking forward to it. What are you going to say?
I think, listen, we're due a goal, because for the last couple of games, we've just not really looked like scoring. And so I think we're due a goal. If Yaku Mate gets a bit of time on the pitch because he's come back from injury, I'd back him to score. I can't see us keeping a clean sheet, mate. I think if we're lucky, like I said, it might be a repeat of the 1-1 draw from early in the season, but my head, not my heart, is probably saying 2-1, 3-1 to the Reds. And I wish you luck, but not too much luck, man, because we need 3 points. I just don't know if we're going to get it.
Wow. So Jacob thinks we're going to actually batter him. I'm just looking at the results. And Lisa, Derby fan, stop calling us not Forest. I've had enough of you, Lisa.
You used to manage Notts County, by the way. Paul Ince.
Oh, Paul. Yeah. He was there. Yeah, he was there for League Two.
There you go. So you got a bit of a personal agenda, right? So you wanna see us off.
Listen to me. Like I've got no agenda against Paul Ince, but I don't hate Notts County. It's just Notts County fans hate us. It's a bit like us, and weirdly Birmingham fans have decided to try and start a Twitter rivalry with Reading fans. We don't give a shit about Birmingham. I don't know where Birmingham is. It's just like reverse and Leicester City. They're trying to force a rival with us, and like I said, we don't care. As Lisa knows, it's just Forest and Derby. Jacob, it's been fantastic. You've been fantastic,
mate. I've had a lot of fun. We'll have to do this again.
Fantastic. I said, I do apologize to Forest fans that I said I wasn't doing one, but Jacob came to the rescue for the last minute. And like I said, Jacob, I appreciate you coming on. And as well, Jacob's got a YouTube channel as well. After the show, I will put the link in below. So please, can all Forest fans go and watch the show? Like I said, it's a great show. I remember I had one of your people on my channel, but I forgot his name, who it was now.
We've had a couple. We've got Paul. We've got Alex.
It might be Alex.
Alex Everson. That'll be him. Yeah.
That's it. I had Alex on my channel last season, I think it was. But yeah, people. Like I said, people, go. I will put the link after I've done, and so people can go for the channel. But like I said, I like to promote other people's channels because it's not just about me; it's about the YouTube platform. Right, Jacob, it's been a pleasure. Thank you very much for coming to the channel. But like I said, people,
good luck for the rest of the season. Yeah.
I will do. But like I said, people, if you are on YouTube channel, please do hit the like button, subscribe if you're new, and like I said, people, I'll be at the ground as well. And I don't know if I know I was at the BBC Radio Nottingham as well, so I did a little vlog as well. So that'll be tomorrow morning, so people had fun. Shout out to Bao, who was there with me. Shout out to Des, who was there with me as well. And it's been a pleasure, people. Thank you, everyone. I'll be at the ground for like around 1 o'clock. So if you want to get a vlog, you can. And ask for score picture. Don't be shy. Right, it's been a pleasure. Thank you, everyone. Come on, and I'll see you tomorrow. Peace and love. Up the forest. Wait, Jacob, can I get up the forest? Up the forest before you go.
No, you're not getting that out of me. It's not happening. It's not happening.
Peace and love, up the forest.
See you later.